everyone. Oh shit. My model like partially cut off. My bad. What the hell is going on? Um, what's going on here? Why am I partially cut off? What's going on? Let me see. No. Did I mess something up? Okay. Yeah, I probably did something stupid. Anyways. Hello everyone, hello again. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. The model's bothering me now. Okay, I think this is probably fine, I guess. Maybe. Who knows? Anyways, whatever. It's whatever. Hello everyone. Hello. It's been a while. Almost it's been a month actually. Now that I think about it, it's actually been quite a while. Oh shit. Oh shit, what happened there? Okay, there we go. What the fuck? Why is it every time I move that screen, what? Anyways, does this work? Okay. Clearly, no matter what I do, there's always a little bit of scuff every time I start stream. It's, I should not be surprised at this point. But how is everyone? It's been a month. 2 weeks longer than I initially planned. But I have my reasons, okay? So the first 2 weeks. The first, actually, should I start with that? Yeah, I guess, well, you noticed my new outfit, right? I was talking about this outfit, before I went on vacation, which I will be actually speaking about in depth in the stream, because I really wanna share my experiences while I went on what was actually my first solo trip. So I am really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I guess to start off with, I should mention, because if you haven't noticed, the glaringly different detail that you see here is that I have a new outfit. No need for anything like a 2.0, or I guess in my case it would be 3.0, probably, because of how many changes that I've been doing. But there's no point for this to just show it off, because I was actually speaking about this before I left. So here it is. If I was smart, I would have had this shown this to you guys before I left, but I did not get the chance to do that. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, do you like it? I really like this outfit, actually. I think it's more along the lines of what I originally wanted myself as a Zen to look like when I debuted, but because of reasons, specifically because I did not know how to artistically display how I wanted to show my model, I guess, make my model. Because of that, I was not able to show who I wanted to Zen exactly to be, right? To give off the same vibes as I am giving off now. But I like this outfit. It's really, really cute. It's really, really cute. Look at the... Oh, I'm cut off a bit. Look at how cute it is. How do I forgot how to use I forgot how to use freaking what is this? VTuber Maker? Forgot how to use this. Anyways, let me move myself back. Too big. There you go. A little bit off to the side here. There we go. Okay. Am I still cutting off a little bit? Like this? You know, there we go. I think so. I wish my camera sensitivity was better. Anyways, what the calibration? Hello? Oh, I get it. Okay. We're about to fix the angle. That makes sense. Fuck. I love scuff. Anyways, while I try and fix the orientation of my model, let's chat. Let's chat, okay, guys? What the hell? This is bothering me so much because I'm really like detail oriented. I'm a really detail oriented person. So if something is like off center to me, off whatever, off kilter, whatever you want to call it, it bothers me a lot. Anyways, this is as good as we're gonna get for now, I think. How has everyone been? If, you know, as I was saying before I went off on a weird tangent, I can't even talk. Oh my god. Anyways, okay, for real now. Before I went off on a like little bit of a tangent, I was speaking about how for the past, well, a month ago, I went on vacation. I came back 2 weeks ago and some stuff happened. I don't really want to dwell on what happened too much just last week. I'm still trying to process it. If you did see my tweet, you might have an idea of what I'm currently going through right now. But I don't want to dwell on stuff like that of the depressing sort because I'm still coming to accept it. Grieving, the act of grieving is it's messy. And no matter how often one experiences it doesn't really, it never stops hurting, right? But with time it won't stop, but it'll get better. And it's only been less than a week for me ever since I had to go through this again, but easy going, easy does it, right? Anyways, I don't want to dwell on that too much, but the week after I came back from vacation, of course, I had like really bad jet lag. So because of that, I had to put off stream because like it was bad enough to the point that I had to actually leave work early because it was like just affecting my work and my health, and I just could not handle it, right? So I left early and I took the next day to recover, and that day was actually a Wednesday. So you know, because of that, I did not stream, right? And then you know, bad thing X happened afterwards, bad thing A. Anyways, it's kind of amazing, really, how many things can happen in like the span of 2 weeks. But yeah, as I was saying, as I was saying, on let's see here, what day is it? March 19th? Was it March? Yeah, March 19th. I actually went on vacation. I spent 2 weeks overseas, and it was actually my very first solo trip. Normal people. Normal people usually when they embark on a journey to do their first solo trip, their first vacation alone, usually smart people would stick close to home, feel out how it feels, right, to go on an adventure on your own, to go out into the big wide world without that parental support, right? So normal people stay local. I went overseas. I worried my entire family, and I do feel genuinely bad for that. But because I was going to a country that I already have been to before, and the other one I was actually meeting some friends, and it is known to be very safe. They let me go off on my own. Not that they could have stopped me anyways, because I already bought my tickets and reserved everything. But it's good for me, for the independence, right? My family is like very concerned, or well, they're not really concerned, but it's like, because they know I can take care of myself. They know I'm capable of being an independent person. Know I'm capable of living on my own and whatnot, because I've done it before, for school purposes. But it, as parents, for someone who has been fortunate enough to be born into a family where my family is very kind, caring, and supportive, and to be very loved by them, they're never gonna stop worrying no matter what I do, right? Even at home, as I am right now, they still worry sometimes, and I appreciate that, because family is important. If you have a very, very good relationship with your family, I highly recommend that you do some more things to show your appreciation for them more, because you never know when you're gonna lose someone, right? Because life is unpredictable that way. So spending as much time as you possibly can with the people who are precious to you, it's very important in my opinion, right? But in any case, I went overseas for the first time. I went to visit 2 different countries. The first one I've actually and I spent like a week in each country, right? The first country I went to was actually Singapore, and I do have some pictures to show you, actually. But yeah, I went to Singapore. It's the first time I ever went to Singapore. The main reason why I went in the first place was because, I guess I should just start with that. My vacation was very, very sudden. I actually originally did not plan to go on another vacation so soon, because the last time I went was in like November, right? It's only been a couple of months since then, so I was thinking of closer to the end of this year I wanted to go on vacation, but things happened at work and I was forced to use my vacation days or else I lose them. So because of that, I went on a very sudden vacation. The whole reason why I chose Singapore first to go to was because I wanted to like explore a new country that I've never been to. Not that I've been to like too many, but I wanted to explore, right? I wanted to explore. Before I planned this trip, I actually was thinking of maybe trying Iceland, but there's a lot of research that I need to do going into that, because Iceland is like, it's a small island and you can traverse around the entire thing in like a day, I think, if it was like non-stop driving. But I don't know how I would have pulled that off on my own. More so because I wanted to travel the entire ring road instead of like just near what's it called, the Golden Ring, the one that most people do when they visit Iceland for a short period of time, the one close to the where the main airport is, right? But when I was looking into Iceland, I was thinking, going on a round trip around the ring road, and that was a lot more. It was a lot more planning than I had originally intended, and moreover, I didn't have enough time to plan it out. So I changed my mind and ended up going overseas to a place where I was sort of familiar with and one that I was not familiar with at all. So Singapore, it was my first time in Singapore. I went overseas, stayed at a hotel. Actually, you can... Whoop. I don't know if you can see it, but I brought my newies with me. I brought my newie and my pape. Here's them tucked into bed at the hotel room I stayed at. But yeah, I went to Singapore for the first time because I actually had some friends living in Singapore. Friends that I met on Discord through like mutual servers and whatnot, and who I've since become incredibly close with. So I went to Singapore to meet them for the first time. I had a lot of fun meeting with them. They treated me to some meals, so the amount of money I actually spent in Singapore was not that much, despite the fact that Singapore is known to be super expensive, especially in like comparison to the currency I use, which is kind of crazy. But yeah. So I went to Singapore, landed in Changi Airport. I did actually wander around, and Changi Airport's kind of amazing actually, because it's like, it's an airport, but it's also a shopping mall, but it's like huge, right? I was like surprised, but also like, it's very beautiful too, right? Singapore is very beautiful. Especially in like comparison to my own country. My country's kind of ass, if I must say so myself. But yeah, Singapore, Changi Airport. This photo is from when I think the same day I landed in Singapore. I landed like really, really early in the morning at like 8 a.m. and then checked into the hotel, and then I went back to the airport actually to meet up with my friends for lunch, 2 of them for lunch, because they were free, right? And they're like hungry too. So I was like, I'm still awake. Jet lag has yet to kick me in the ass, despite the fact that I just spent like more than a day on a freaking flight or on a plane. So, may as well meet up with them, right? Besides, I haven't ate like an actual meal in like a day. So I went back to the airport after landing and checking into my hotel. This photo is from Changi Airport's Jewel. For those of you who don't know, Jewel is like the main tourist attraction within Changi Airport, because Changi Airport itself is like a tourist attraction all on its own, and it's very, very beautiful. They have like, I don't know, do I have a pointer image somewhere? Image media source, I think it's media source I can use. Okay, do I have, I think I do actually. Here, I'll use if I can upload a GIF, is it like image or media source? Hang on a sec. Let me try image first. Okay. Okay, it works. Okay. Yeah, so Changi Airport, I don't know if you can see it here, right? Don't mind this this animated cursor that I'm using. I made this for like a previous project, and I kind of just like reused it for stuff. I just changed the color, really. Anyways, Changi Airport. It's like Changi Airport's like a tourist attraction all on its own. So you can see here, this is like the main attraction. It's like the indoor waterfall or something like that. So alongside this, like, I think this like I think they consider it like the the longest indoor waterfall, I think. Don't quote me on that. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know my Singaporean history. But yeah, this is like the indoor waterfall thing that is like located within Jewel. Again, Jewel is the shopping mall area, tourist attraction area, and then outside of this, like just surrounding this waterfall area, it's like trees. They have like a literal freaking forest within the mall. It's crazy. And by the way, Singaporean weather is I am not accustomed to it because poor little me is like, I cannot do tropical weather. I come from a cold place, okay? Or well, a place that's usually more temperate, and in the winter extremely freaking cold if it's a particularly bad year. So I'm more used to cold weather than I am to like tropical weather. And for your information, it was like the first time I've ever been to a tropical country as well. So I've never like been to a tropical country proper, right? Oh, you know what? I figured out why my freaking it's because my webcam can't pick up my mouth movements right now because it's too dark on one side of my screen on my face. Here, let me turn on this light. Give me a sec. Give me a sec, team. Am I fixed? Does this help a little bit with the mouth movements, mouth tracking? I think so. I think so. But yeah. So this is Changi Airport, okay? This is like physically located within the airport itself, okay? I need you to hammer that into your head because it's kind of crazy. Cause the thing about Jewel is that it's like a shopping complex within the airport, and that's kind of not normal. If in my past experience anyways, it's kind of not normal. Like, I don't mean like duty free shopping, like there is definitely that, but that's only past the gates, the security, which, you know, by the way, is a whole giant area in its own right. I don't have any photos of that, unfortunately. I didn't take any because it did not occur to me to do that. But this is like outside. You can like physically just go into Changi Airport's Jewel and just walk around, spend some time there, right? No need to go through like any gates or security or whatnot. It's just there. It's literal shopping. I had no need to buy anything in Singapore because Singapore is like a lot of the items, or almost all of the items, I think, if I remember correctly, it's all like imported. So a lot of the stores that I saw in Singapore, they're actually stores that I have in my own country. So, you know, I have no compulsion. I'm not compelled to buy anything. Wasn't compelled to buy anything when I was in Singapore. But yeah. Let me move my cup over here. So, but yeah, I had lunch with my friends. As you can see. This is so funny. I had lunch with my friends, so excuse me while I temporarily hide myself. Or you know what? Here, I'll put my... That doesn't work. Anyways. Oh shit. So yeah, I had lunch with my friends, right? I had lunch with my friends, and we had... I don't actually know what this is called. They called something... I think... Oh, oops. I think they called this dish bihun. I think? Bihun? I don't actually know what that translates to, but... It tasted like a dish I've had back in my country, in like Chinese restaurants, which like it's not bad, but it's like it's actually pretty good. Very light in my opinion in terms of taste, but it's good, right? So bihun, I don't actually know what it directly translates to, but it was delicious, but it was nothing to write home about in my opinion. But regardless, I had a good lunch because my friends were there. They treated me to lunch. This was like some sort of tofu dish. Tofu and mushrooms, I think it was mushrooms. This was actually pretty good. I actually really like the tofu dish. Lately these days I've been leaning away from meat-based dishes and preferring more like vegetarian foods, because meats are a little heavy for me, and I don't know, I don't think they're as enjoyable to eat as fish. So a shame really, but nothing wrong with liking vegetables, right? It's good to eat your vegetables. This thing, I don't actually know what it is, but they called it like, was it pork? Was it pork, or is it like, it was like a mix of like seafood and some sort of meat. It was actually really, really good. I really liked this. It's kind of like a sausage, but not really a sausage. It was like, and it was like deep fried too, which, you know, it's everything unhealthy. But it was actually really, really good. It was like really savory, which I actually really liked. And then, you know, after that it's not in the picture itself, but I also had like a jasmine tea, just a regular hot jasmine tea, because I didn't know what to drink. But yeah, this was the lunch I had with my friends at the airport, at Jewel, at Changi Jewel. If you notice this photo card here, don't worry about it. It's like a thing with my friends. They've made these like onngyakung photo cards, these pokas, for some reason. I don't know why, and every single person they meet from our server, they just hand one to us. So this isn't the one that they gave me. This is actually one of theirs, but because the friend that was like distributing them, she wasn't there that day, so this is belongs to one of my friends. So now they just bring him around. For those of you who don't know, I think Ong Yakung is their prime minister or something like that. He's like a figure of power in the politics area, but I don't actually remember what he does. But apparently, I don't know what their fascination with him is. It could be just a patriotic thing, I'm not sure, but I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny that they decided to make these fan-made pokas and just handed one to each of us. Love that for them. This photo is we went to, this is still in Changi Airport, in Jewel. We went to this pretty famous ice cream place called Birds of Paradise. Is it ice cream or gelato? I don't remember, but it was like really, really good. I kind of wish I went back and tried another flavor, because there was this like pretty blue one that my friend got. It was like no, not snow pea. It's like butterfly pea something. Butter and it's like kind of vanilla-y and blue. She gave me a bite of it and it was really, really good. And then there was another flavor that I was interested in. It was like lychee rose or something. I had a really hard time trying to figure out what flavor I wanted to try, but I ultimately chose this one, which was sea salt hojicha. And oh my god, it was so good. It was a little bit too salty for my taste. I'm particularly like sensitive to salt these days for some reason. Probably because I cut a lot of salt out of my diet. So like anything kind of salty is like pretty salty to me. But yeah, this is a hojicha, sea salt hojicha gelato, I think. It was really, really, really good. I highly recommend it. It's like just this little store tucked in the corner. It's less a store and more like a counter, where they sold these, but it was like so popular we had to like line up for it for like a solid 15 minutes. But they treated me to this too, and I was like, you guys are so sweet. My friend paid for like a total of like 3 of my meals because we met up at like 3 different occasions. This lunch, 1 dinner, and then another lunch. So for some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like I didn't spend that much money on food when I was there, despite needing to eat like 3 times a day. I don't know. But in any case, this is the meal that I had for the first day, for lunch. The day after that, I actually went to Marina Bay Sands. Marina Bay Sands, it's in the east side, like southeast side of Singapore. So Marina Bay Sands, if you cannot tell by this picture alone, they're very famous for this, it's like a ship-shaped hotel on top of these 3 buildings. So I think this entire thing is like a hotel. And then on top of it, it's like they have that like infinity pool that a lot of people post about. And I think it's a restaurant too. They also have like an underground shopping mall as well. I did not go into that mall, but honestly, I kind of should have. I didn't actually physically go into this building. I actually went to what's it called? Gardens by the Bay. Here. Yeah, this is like the Gardens by the Bay in Marina Bay Sands. By the way, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning. My time in Singapore, it was actually like monsoon season. Yeah, it was like monsoon season, so it was like prone to raining every single day I was there, which, you know, somehow I got lucky enough to avoid for most of the time for the week I was there. I think I only got majorly rained on like twice or 3 times. All the other times I happened to either be indoors or it happened overnight, like while I was sleeping, and then it kind of like cleared up during the day. So, you know, I got really, really lucky while I was in Singapore. And I'm like really, really happy for that, because it actually, monsoon season kind of destroyed a few of the plans I was originally going to do, like go to the zoo and bird paradise. Also the nature reserve I wanted to go to, and botanical garden. This is a different botanical garden, by the way. This is the Marina Bay Sands ones, but I wanted to actually go to the Singapore one, the Singapore Botanical Garden. I wasn't able to do that though, so I had to settle with these ones. I say settle, but I actually had this on my schedule as well, so oh, my throat. I haven't talked this much in a while, and I actually didn't really do my vocal warm-ups today. So I'm like, my throat is like struggling right now. Let me see if I can talk a little bit slower. That might help the strain. Or like change the way I speak, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, this is Gardens by the Bay in Marina Bay Sands. I went to the Cloud Forest and Dome and the flower garden while I was here. You know, very can my freaking camera? Okay. What if I sit like this? Anyways, yeah, so in this picture you can actually see the famous super tree grove right here. The man-made trees in Singapore, which are known as the super tree grove. This was in Marina Bay Sands area. The day that I went here, it was the day after I landed, right? So this is the second day of my trip. The thing, something funny really happened on this day. So, on this day, I was actually supposed to meet with my friends for lunch, but I was not aware of that. Like, apparently, I think these plans were made a while back, but we didn't like set a specific time or location, so I kind of like forgot about it. Or it's like, because it kind of felt like it was like thrown together really last minute, and like they didn't confirm whether or not we were going until the day of. So when they messaged me when I got to like MBS, Marina Bay Sands, they messaged me right when I got there, and they're like, Zen, where are you? And I was like, huh? I'm in the great outdoors. And they're like, huh? So when I told them I was like at Marina Bay Sands, they were like, oh, thank God, you're not actually that far away. Because they're at like the City Hall area. City Hall MRT. MRT is the subway network that they have, like the train network, public transit network that they have in Singapore. So Marina Bay Sands was actually not that far from City Hall where we were meeting for lunch. And the nice thing about Singapore is that it's really, really small, this island. So because of how small it is, you can actually go from one side of Singapore to the other within like an hour, which is actually really nice. So despite being late to the lunch meetup, I did not include pictures here for that lunch meetup because it includes some of my friends' faces, and I'm not doxing them or myself, so you won't see that. But we had a very, very good like lunch at a place called, I think it was called Godmama. It was not Funan Mall, but the other one near it, I think. I don't remember which one it was. Was it Raffles City? Raffles City or Funan. It's one of those ones. I don't remember which one it is. Because I think we walked through both while I was there to get to that place. So we went to a restaurant called Godmama, and it served like sort of like dim sum, but not really. We had these I don't know what they're called, but they're like cone shaped foods. It's like a cone shaped shell tart. No, not a tart. It's like shell. A very small cone shaped shell, and then you fill it with like what was it? I'm trying to think. What was it called? The sweet chili sauce, peanuts, like crushed peanuts, cilantro, something that looked like sauerkraut but wasn't sauerkraut, I think. I could be wrong. It kind of looked like onions, but it wasn't onions. It didn't taste like onions. But it was like stringy like that, right? Like sauerkraut or something like that. And then something else. I think you put something else in there too. I don't remember what it was. But it was really, really good. Not my most favorite thing in the world. I actually preferred the braised pork. I think it was pork. Braised pork belly. I really enjoyed the braised pork belly. We had like 2 different versions of it. One was like a darker meat. I think one was like duck, like braised duck belly, and then the other one is just a regular braised pork. I really like the duck. Duck is like, oh gosh. Duck is like, it's more savory than pork, more juicy, I think. It was so good, and it was like in this like dark sauce, soy sauce based sauce, but it was like dark, right? And it was so good. Oh my god. And then I think we also had like, what else is there on that table? Let me see. Let me pull up the picture actually. Oh, I forgot I had to do something for my brother. That can wait. He can wait. Let me see here. Where's the photo of dinner or lunch, I mean? What else did we have? We had some sort of spicy noodle, and then a bunch of other meat dishes. I think one of them was like braised duck, not the belly, but like the duck, just the duck, and it was braised. We had some like sort of chicken wing too, and the rice was like really interesting. They had like blue grains of rice mixed into the white rice. I've never seen that before in my life. It tasted like normal rice, like normal jasmine rice, but it had the blue grains, which is like really interesting in my opinion. Yeah, so during this lunch, I met the rest of my friends who live in Singapore, and oh my gosh, I love them. They're so funny. They one of them who I actually talk to really often, my other OnStarry friend, she gave me some Crazy Bee merch. Not a lot, just like 2 pashas that I actually already own, but I'm like open to dupes. I love dupes. I will accept them regardless of which one they are, so long as they are Crazy Bee. But she gave me that, and also a Crazy Bee Dojin, which I am really happy about. I have yet to read it because I need to translate it. The fact that she bought it and thought of me, that was so sweet of her. So I gave her the this is, by the way, the same friend that I made those top loaders for in not my previous video, but the one before that, I think my last hand cam. So I gave her those top loaders in exchange, along with the Ibara, in exchange for this, and I love them. I also received a print and a charm, like a keychain from another one of my artist friends who also live in Singapore but wasn't able to make it that day. So I love them. I am so happy I went to Singapore. It's not a place that I would personally go to again. It feels a little bit too much like my own city, so I personally would not go to Singapore again unless it's specifically to go to the places I did not go to last time. But if it was just like going there to meet them, I would happily do so. It's just the flight there itself is a little bit expensive, and for the amount of time that I did spend in Singapore, to be honest, I could have spent less time there, because after you do like everything, like after you hit all like the major tourist attractions, there's not really much you can do in Singapore in my opinion. Because for me, I did not need to go shopping. I did not need anything from the malls, so that killed like a good chunk of what I could have done. And then monsoon season kind of stopped some of my plans, so I did not go to the zoo, I did not go to the bird park, I did not go to the nature reserve that I wanted to go to, and I didn't go to like the actual other botanical garden, which kind of sucks. I did go hiking though. I will speak about that afterwards because I do have a photo and I will talk about it. But I did go hiking. But yeah, going back to this photo, this is Marina Bay Sands, my second day of the trip. After lunch, I came back to Marina Bay Sands because I actually already bought a ticket to go to the Cloud Dome and the flower garden within Marina Bay Sands. So because there was no like time limit other than I had to use it on the same day that I bought the ticket, I came back here after lunch. Yeah, so this is the botanical Marina Bay Sands Gardens by the Bay, and the super tree grove that you see there in the background. This photo is from the flower garden in Marina Bay Sands, so it was super packed. I probably should have thought it over before I went to Marina Bay Sands, because I actually went on a weekend, and as you know, with regular people, weekends are their off days, so it was like super duper busy, and I kind of regret I couldn't really enjoy walking through the flower forest, flower garden, and the cloud forest because of how crowded it was, which kind of made me really sad, because I'm someone who actually really likes wandering around nature, or being in like botanical gardens, because being surrounded by that nature, it's very calming and relaxing, right? And flowers are very pretty. They're like they offer a lot of inspiration, right? So this is like a photo taken just by the entrance of the flower garden. As you can see, there's a freaking ridiculous amount of people. At the time I was there was actually a they had like this special limited event. I don't want to say event because that's not really the right word. Feature, a special feature happening within the flower forest, flower garden itself. You can kind of see it in this photo. I do have another one in the slideshow as well, but this little building here, they had like because it was cherry blossom season, they had like a Japanese cherry blossom display up in the flower what's it called, flower garden. I keep almost saying flower forest. I keep getting it mixed up with the other one. But yeah, they had like this display. You could actually go into this little castle replica. I think it's like a Osaka castle or Himeji castle or something castle replica, but there's so many people there, I just did not want to go anywhere near there, so I skipped out on that and just walked around the rest of the place. But because it was like, again, it was so, there's so many people, it's hard to enjoy, because I don't like crowded places, right? Crowded places are, they just they set all my nerves on fire, basically. It's just too much. It's overwhelming, right? Here's a better view of it. You can kind of see it here a little bit better, but here in the this corner here, this little replica of the castle, you could actually go in there. But yeah, because I think partially because of this display that they had in the flower garden, I have to think before I say it. Yeah, but because of that, it's like, I think it was really, really crowded, right? So it was kind of hard to enjoy because of that, which kind of made me very, very sad. Kind of wish maybe if I went on a weekday, it probably would have been less people, honestly. Like, all the tourists would be there, obviously. I myself was a tourist, but it'd probably be less because then the locals wouldn't be there too, right? But it's whatever. It's already happened, so here's some flowers. I think they were really pretty. But yeah, a lot of these flowers you don't see in my own country because, you know, we're not tropical, right? So you can see here in the corner, these are hibiscus. We do have these hydrangeas. We do have hydrangeas, but I don't usually see these colors where I am. Usually they're like the regular yellowy color. So these bright hydrangea colors I don't usually see. I think these ones are lilies. You don't see those too often here either. I don't know what these flowers are. But yeah, I like looking at flower arrangements. I think flower arrangements are like, they're a good source of inspiration because you can kind of derive a lot from it. I think because, you know, there's the language of flowers where you can derive meaning from. you know, if you think deeper about it, you can create characters, you can relate them to flowers, you can, there's a lot of like imagery that you can do with flowers, and which I think is like really, really neat. And I really, really enjoy flowers too, even though the smell is a little bit much for me. I don't like strong scents. The perfume and cologne that I wear, notwithstanding, because they're like actually scents that I can tolerate. But flowers, sometimes like natural flower scents are too strong for me, which makes me kind of sad because they're really pretty and no, they smell nice too. Here are more flowers. I don't know why I include so many flower pictures. Yeah, here's another view here. These are like the cherry blossoms that they had in the in the flower garden. This is like part of the display just off to the side of the castle, and I think they have like a little red Victoria gate here. Just in this corner, this red thing, they have like the Victoria gate leading to the castle thing. But yeah, I thought this display was really, really pretty because of these lanterns and then also the cherry blossoms in the background. I think if I was there at nighttime, it would look so much prettier because the lights would illuminate the area. But I went during the day, so can't be helped. What's next here? Oh, okay, yeah, here's the cloud forest. The cloud forest is like a different dome. Like it's its own garden basically, and it's in a different dome from the flower garden. So the cloud forest, it's like about a 10-minute walk away or something. No, it's a few minutes walk away from the flower garden, I think. This one I actually enjoyed immensely. Would have enjoyed more again if there were less people, but because of the sheer size of it and vastness of the area and how they did the displays, like look at this. This is like amazing. It was really, really pretty and so cool to witness in person because, you know, in my area, in my city, we don't have a lot of greenery, unfortunately. I live in the city, right? So I don't usually see nature like this. I mean, this is of course of the man-made kind, but the way that they displayed it, it's awe-inspiring, right? When you walk in and you see these towering greeneries along with the waterfalls just coming down, it's breathtaking, right? It's breathtaking. They had these man-made waterfalls coming down in waves from the top of the dome. And then these, they kind of look like hills, but they're not actually hills. If you look closely, like here, you can actually see that this is just a building. It's a building with greenery on the outside, and you can actually go, well, not inside it, but they have the walkways there that you can go through to reach the top. And then they actually have walkways right here, which you can see in the corner. They have walkways that you can walk on to see everything from a skyline view. Do I have that photo here? Almost. This is one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken while I was in Singapore. Because like the sheer how do you what's the word? Concept? No. What's the word? Display? No. I think you get what I mean though, right? The way portrayed, I think, or not quite. What's the word? What's the word? What's it called? Let's just go with portray for now. The way it's portrayed in this photo, the dimensions? No. Damn it. It'll come to me eventually. The way that I just took this picture, something about the way that I took it, it's breathtaking. in a way, because you can see the mist in the background, the misting water in the background. You can see the walkways snaking through the back at the top there, along with here, this walkway here. But you can also see the greenery just wrapping around, the different kinds of plants that you can witness in here, and how tall the trees are, how they just reach up towards the sky and hang off these trees and walkways and you know, make it seem like a jungle in its own right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really, really is. And this is like one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken. Ignore this guy in the corner. I'm so sorry for not blurring his face out. I actually did not notice that. I did crop most of these photos before stream, but I actually did not notice him in the corner there. I don't know who that is, by the way. He's just some random stranger that happened to be in my photograph. But if we ignore that, then, you know, this is one of my favorite photos ever. This is actually the view from the top of the walkway. You can see Marina Bay Sands in the distance. And I actually caught this at like a perfect time and angle too, because you can see the Super Tree Grove here, Marina Bay Sands, and then you have the not quite setting sun, but like the sun peeking through the clouds in the distance, so it's not ridiculously sunny, it's not ridiculously bright, but you know, it gives like a profound sense of timelessness, I would say, because this feels like a moment that's frozen in time, peering out into the world through this glass window. And I don't know, there's just something about it that makes it really, really beautiful, I think. This is actually not quite the top view, but the top view. It's like the middle view of the walkway of the cloud forest. This is actually the top here, which I did go to, by the way, but I don't think I have any photos for some reason. Or if I did, I accidentally skipped over them when I was uploading them to my computer for the slideshow. Because I only uploaded like some of the photos that I needed. But this is like the view from the walkway, the middle half of it. So you can see some of the medium-sized trees here. I'm at the top of them, but some of them go even higher, right? And then you have the walkway up here, the final walkway, the highest that you can go in the cloud forest, and then all this greenery just climbing up and wrapping around this middle building here. It really does give off the vibes of a jungle, especially with the heat as well. And if there were less people, I genuinely think that I feel like I would have oh my god, okay, like this. I feel like I would have thought I was in another world if there were actually less people, right? Because, you know, it feels like I've been transported to a different world. Would have felt like that, with all these like foreign plants, foreign trees, foreign greenery, and then you have this place where it makes you feel like if you walk up there, you're in an entirely different world. It would have been such a wonderful feeling if I was able to feel that way, but the crowds kind of ruined it, which makes me really sad. But I had a good time there regardless. It was phenomenal, no matter how crowded it was, because, you know, it feels like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And it is, if you don't go back. But it's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, experiencing these things, because I don't think any other botanical garden in the world has something similar to this. So, you know, it's really truly a Singaporean attraction in its own right, which I think is quite wonderful. Here are the super tree groves up close. I actually did not walk right up to the tree for some reason. I'm not sure why. But this is like the trees, the man-made trees. There's actually a walkway right here. I was contemplating if I wanted to go on it, but then it was like kind of expensive, and I don't know. I feel like I should have, because you know, it's vacation. I shouldn't be worrying about that stuff, but at the same time, I don't actually know what I can see up there, and I don't know if it's like worth it. So I refrained from walking on that walkway. But I did see these super tree groves, which I think are kind of amazing actually. I don't know what the point of having these man-made trees are, but they're kind of amazing regardless. By the way, while I was here, I saw my first wild chicken. I was not aware that they had wild chicken wandering around. I also saw like a giant lizard while I was in Marina Bay Sands, and I kind of forget that their wildlife is different than mine. Like, I see their pigeons and they're like so skinny, it's kind of crazy. Like, your pigeons are starving, guys. But yeah, this is the first time I actually saw chickens in the wild. It's kind of amazing. I keep saying that about everything, but it's really true. Like, I like chickens. I actually really like chickens. I think they're like one of my favorite animals. But I've never seen one in the wild, right? Like, I've only ever seen them on my dinner plate. So seeing like a whole live chicken was like a serious culture shock to me. It was a serious culture shock. I did see more chickens though. On another day when I went hiking. On that day I went hiking, I saw chickens. This is still the Marina Bay Sands. You can see the Super Tree Grove in the background. But you can also see... What is it called? The Superfly? The Ferris wheel? This Ferris wheel here, that I think they call it the Superfly. I did not go there. It was not in the direction I was going. And I have no reason to go on a Ferris wheel anyways. So, you know. Walking along this boardwalk, which was actually really relaxing. It goes all across the garden, and you know, Marina Bay Sands, if you look at it on the map, it's a pretty big area. So this boardwalk essentially goes all the way from one end of the park to the other, which, you know, walking along was actually very, very relaxing in my opinion. I wish they had something like that here in my city, but if they did, the trek to get there on its own would be a little much, in my opinion. Oh god. So I actually was in the area until it was evening. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Cause like I met my friends closer to around like noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that, and I was with them until like 3 o'clock, and then I went back to Marina Bay Sands. The sun set kind of early, I think, but this is like the view of Marina Bay Sands from the bridge across from it. I was not aware it lit up like this, so when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it was really pretty, right? It was really pretty. Not much to say on regards to it, because it's just lights, but it was pretty, right? And then you have the famous mare lion. The mare lion is like their national animal or something. I don't actually know, but they're kind of famous in Singapore for some reason. This is the mare lion statue at Mare Lion Park. I did not spend too long here. I just came here to take the photo and then head back. Because I was actually on my way back to my hotel at this time. It was like getting really late. It was like 9 p.m. or something. And I already ate dinner and everything, I think. Did I eat dinner that day? What did I eat that day? I think I was like struggling to figure out what to eat that day, I think. Did I eat fast food? What did I eat? I have no recollection of what I ate that day. It wasn't anything to write home about. So I think it was just like some whatever I could get my hands on at that time. But yeah, I was on my way home or back to the place I was staying at, the hotel I was staying at. and it was getting late and I was getting so tired because I was out basically walking all day. I think that day I clocked 20,000 steps, like a little more than 20,000 steps. Crazy, man. Like every day while I was overseas, I clocked like more than 15k steps, like average per day. My feet were killing me. I had good shoes regardless, so like it didn't hurt too much, but like when you rest your feet after walking for so long, you're like, I never want to get up again. So yeah, this day I was actually really tired, because not only was I walking all day, but also because you know, I was starting to deal with the jet lag that was like creeping in a little bit. But yeah, this is Maryland Park. This is the infamous chicken rice. A lot of my friends recommended trying chicken rice while I was in Singapore because it's one of the dishes that everyone recommends when you go to Singapore because like what it's known for. This chicken rice is just from like the first restaurant I pulled up in Google Maps that had like very good reviews. So I went there, ate the chicken rice, but I feel like I got my expectations up too high because it didn't really taste like exceptional or anything. Like don't get me wrong, it was good. It was good chicken rice. It had flavor, it was juicy, it was nice, and it was nice and light, but it also tasted something that I've ate before at home, so it wasn't really anything to write home about. But regardless, it was still good. Maybe I just ate it wrong, I'm not sure, but it was good chicken rice regardless. Probably wouldn't get again though. Good, but I wouldn't get again unless I'm like feeling I want something small and simple, hence chicken rice. I think this plate was like less than $7, less than $9. Oh yeah, and then here, this is on Sentosa Island. I brought my Nui with me. Not only Himiru, I had my Claude Pape too with me when I went. This photo, I'm not sure why I didn't put Claude in there. But yeah, I went to Sentosa Island this day, and I dropped by the Sea Aquarium. This photo on Sentosa, there's actually Universal Studios Singapore here, which is where I took this photo. I did not actually go into Universal Studios because I'm not the biggest fan of amusement parks. Like they're fun and all, but they're not really my scene. Like if my friends had invited me out, I would have gone with them, no problems there, and had a good time. But personally, it's not a place I would go to on my own. But also because I have no interest on going into those like attractions and whatnot, unless I'm like with a group of friends. But I did take this picture regardless because, you know, it was interesting. I've never been to a Universal Studios, and I'm positive it probably would have been fun, but I wasn't interested in it at that time. So I just basically took a photo and go. This is like very clickbaity. Very clickbaity, it's not truthful at all. But this one is. Okay, the only reason why I made this trip to Sentosa is because I wanted to go to the aquarium. The aquarium is like one of my most favorite places in the world. I love aquariums so much. Like if someone were to take me on a date, the first place they should take me to is an aquarium. I'm not joking. I love aquariums so much. I just like staring at fishies and just, it's so relaxing, right? It's really relaxing. So I went to the Sea Aquarium, SEA Aquarium, however you want to call it. This is also located on Sentosa, just a little bit of a walk away from Universal Studios. So I went to the aquarium, and I had a good time. The aquarium was not as big as I thought it would be, but I enjoyed it regardless because, you know, it's an aquarium. How can I not love it? They had so many fish. The fish tank was huge. Like they had at one point they had their main attraction is this giant glass wall where you can just stare at the fishes. It was amazing, but it was the only thing that they had going for them, if I'm being honest. A lot of fishes I did not see in like the Osaka Kaiyukan, but because like they had seahorses here and I've never seen seahorses before. I think maybe they had the kelp ones, the really pretty kelp dragon ones, which I've never seen before. But anyways, regardless of how small this aquarium was, I actually really did enjoy it. The giant wall, they had like this one room you can just walk into, and it's just a giant wall with the fish tank, and you can just like sit there and stare for hours. On any other normal day I would have done that, but on the day that I went, at the time that I was there's a freaking crying baby, and it kind of ruined the experience, right? Like at the time that I was in that room, it actually wasn't too crowded, but there was a crying baby, and I just could not stand it. I kind of wish it wasn't like that, but I don't know. After going to the Osaka Kaiyukan aquarium, I think every other aquarium just kind of pales in comparison to it. I love the Osaka aquarium so much. I want to go back. I've been there twice and I want to go again. I think it's just gonna be a tradition at this point that every time I go to Osaka, I'm just gonna drop by the aquarium one day. Cause I don't know. Cause like, you know, when you go into an aquarium, you stare at fishes. You just watch them swim around, float around in the deep blue sea in a place, you know, a place that humans can only ever dream of going to. There's just something about watching fishes just like travel around, be happy, just do their little fishy things, and there's something really relaxing about it, right? Which, you know, I love that. How can I not love that? I miss going to the aquarium. This was my lunch that I had after going to the aquarium. This was in the food court in, I don't remember, Vivo City, I think that was called Viva City, something like that. This is the shopping mall just outside of Sentosa. You have to take a train to get to Sentosa, or you can walk. I took a train. And this is the food court just outside of where you exit from the train station to get to Sentosa, like the specific express train from Sentosa and back. This was in the food court, and I had this like dim sum-y dish with rice, chicken, and mushrooms. It was actually a really good dish. Very nice and savory, but also tasted very home cooking-esque. So it was like very heartwarming to eat, I would say. It was good. I actually like this more than chicken rice. Oh, and this is like the highlight of my trip, actually. So this is the outside of a restaurant that I went to. I don't remember which area this was in, but this is the outside of a restaurant I went to called Mama Diam. This is just like a little photo shot-esque place where you can take a picture of it. It's basically I guess like a rendition of like the old tiny shop stands in Singapore that they had back in the day. So they kind of had this for like appearance's sake, because this restaurant that I went to, Mama Diam, it's actually known as being a hidden speakeasy. So not quite a bar, but a more relaxed version of one, I would say. This restaurant is actually so good. It's like the highlight of my trip because the food here was like delicious. delicious. I'm telling you, it was so good. But yeah, this is the outside of it. The actual restaurant is hidden just behind this. It's like in a hidden door, hidden wall area, which slides a door, and then you walk into the speakeasy in full. I don't have a picture of the actual bar itself. I took a video and I didn't want to upload it, so this is what I had when I was sitting at the bar counter instead of the tables, which I actually kind of preferred. But yeah, this is what I had for dinner that day at Mama Diem. This restaurant is so good. I can't even put into words. Like, this is one of the best pork cutlets I've ever ate in my life. It's Hainanese style pork cutlet, and the fries are like the crunchiest things I've ever had. I've never had fries that crunchy before that didn't like get soggy over time because of the oil. Like they didn't taste oily, but they were like ridiculously crunchy. And you know, the vegetables, they're okay. They're just vegetables, right? But they help cleanse the palate, I guess. But this is so good. This pork cutlet, I would die for. And then the drink, I had an osmanthus mocktail. Oh my god, guys, I love osmanthus tea, but also there were like lychee jelly balls inside of it that I was not aware of. So it was like a really, really pleasant surprise when I took my first sip and I was like, oh shit, this is so good. And then aside from this dinner, this is the snack that I had. Usually this is actually an appetizer, but I ordered this after I ate because I wasn't sure how hungry I was. But I ordered this after I ate, and they're like, these are actually salted egg lotus root. What was it called? Lotus root covered in salted egg seasoning, something like that. It was, oh my god, it was so good. It's like the perfect snack dish. I want to see if I can remake it at home when I start my cooking saga. Undergo my cooking endeavors. I want to see if I can remake this. I don't know where I'm gonna get salted egg seasoning from, but lotus root chips, they're like the perfect snack dish, and they're kind of healthy too. Never mind the fact that you have to deep fry them, but these are so good. They're like really light and they're really crunchy, and they just tasted amazing. I was like in awe. This is like one of their signature dishes, and I can see why. It's very, very good. This is like this photo I took on top of a mountain. Let me drink some water. So you know how I said it was monsoon season? So I actually was not going to go hiking here. This is the Southern Ridges, by the way. Southern Ridges is known as like a large hiking trail. Hiking in quotations because it's not really hiking. Like the paths are paved and everything, but it's in the mountains regardless, so it's like a nice nature walk. It's a nice nature walk. So anyways, as I was saying, because it was like monsoon season, I actually was not expecting to be able to go to the Southern Ridges because I didn't want to risk it, right? If it's really rainy, it's not good to go hiking, or in this case on a nature walk in the mountains, even if the pathways are paved, because it's like dangerous, right? You don't and you know, I wasn't with anyone, so I didn't want to risk anything. But thankfully, on the day that I went to the Southern Ridges, the sky was sunny. That was the last sunny day I had in Singapore, and oh my god, guys, oh my god, I had a good time there. I love nature walks, man. I want to go on more, but my city don't have them, man. They don't have them. But I love the Southern Ridges, man. If I could go back, I would go again. I would go literally just for the Southern Ridges. It was so fun. Like, there's not much to see, and thankfully I didn't run into any wild monkeys. But the Southern Ridges, there's just something very, very special and calming and relaxing about wandering in nature. You know? This is the lunch I had. This was actually in a restaurant located on top of the mountain in the Southern Ridges. It's called Wild Seed Cafe. It was located in a really, really beautiful like mansion style like building. I think the outside gardens were really, really pretty as well, but I didn't explore too much of it. Okay. Excuse me. But yeah, this is I had a this is like located in the mountain itself, on the mountaintop, at Wild Sea Cafe. I had this beef burger. It's a Wagyu beef burger. Pretty good, by the way, and it also came on a honey oat bun, which I never had before. It was very good. The meat was juicy, the bun was tasty. What was there not to love about it? And I think, was it curly fries too? I love curly fries. I haven't had them in so long. The curly fries. You know. Also, the interesting thing about ketchup overseas, they don't taste as sweet. Like, they have a different sweetness to it. Like, it's not artificial. It doesn't taste artificial. Even though I'm pretty sure it's artificial. It's very interesting to note. And then this drink I had here, it was called Birds of Paradise. It was like a lychee drink. A lychee mocktail. It was really, really good, I must say. I was debating between this one and like a blue one. If I ever go back, I'll probably try the other drink that I wanted to try. Overall, a pretty decent meal. This drink and the subsequent meal you're about to be seeing. Actually, does that one have the drink in it too? Yeah, it does. But here's the drink in full. When they first served it to me. This was on a different day. This was the day before I left, I think. I went to this restaurant near Arab Street or Haji Lane or something like that. I didn't actually go into those ones, even though I probably should have at some point during my stay in Singapore, because they're known for being shopping districts and being very, very pretty. But I didn't go those days. But I just went here for dinner because it looked interesting. And it had good reviews, right? So this is a matcha yuzu mocktail, I think. Oh my god, guys, I've never tasted anything like this. The matcha was very matcha. I know that's not the best adjective to use, but or descriptor word to use, but you know, there's different levels of strength to matcha. This was like matcha, you know, matcha. And then the yuzu gave a nice sour kick to it, which I actually really, really enjoyed. Personally, I really like the yuzu side more, probably because I like lemonade. And yuzu is like a sweeter type of lemon, usually found in like Japan and something like that overseas. Oh my god, it was so good. It's so good. And then this is what I had for dinner. This was what was it? Yuzu cod stew, I think. I really like fish, right? And yuzu cod sounded really interesting to me. You know, the fact that it was a stew was fine too. I don't mind that. But I wasn't expecting it to be like this. Thankfully, it didn't give me any stomach troubles because I didn't know what the base for the soup was. I thought it would be like a clear soup, but it actually came out kind of red, so my assumption would be it has like some sort of tomato in it. And I can't really eat tomato in like excess. So, you know, things like spaghetti, I can't really eat because it's gonna give me a stomach ache. Because I think of like the acidity of the tomatoes. Probably. Sounds about right. But yeah, I was not expecting it to come out like red, but thankfully it didn't give me any stomach troubles, and also the flavor itself was like light. It was like really light and refreshing, and oh my god, the cod like melted in your mouth. I loved it so much. I could do without the I could have gone without the clams and the mussels because I'm not really the biggest fan of shellfish. But regardless, it was tasty. I really liked it. Okay. Oh my god, my throat. I've been slacking on my vocal training because of the stuff that happened these past 2 weeks, so I haven't had time to do it. And now I'm paying the price. Oh my god. By the way, I'm running out of water. Oh, and then yeah, that's the last photo I had in Singapore. The next day, no, stop. The next day I was off to Japan, 8-hour flight or so. So when I went to Japan, I stumbled upon this ad from Niji. It's the no, not Ditika. The other one, I think. Orions? Yeah, Orions. There's something that just makes me really happy seeing these Niji ads out in the wild, and like seeing these VTuber boys just out in the wild. It made me really happy, right? I don't really know Orions, but it's, oh my gosh. I don't know, it's just so, it makes me so happy seeing this stuff out and about, right? And like, you know, this is something that you can only really see in Japan. You don't really see this stuff back in my country, so, or like not as widespread as it is, because, you know, this sort of thing, it originated from Japan, so it's more widespread there, it's more known, it's more accepted, right? In my country, not really. Like, it's accepted, no problems, but no one really does anything around here. They don't display their weeb, which makes me sad, but but yeah, it just makes me really happy seeing these like ads and stuff out in the wild. Oh, by the way, when I was in Japan, I saw Ren's birthday ad playing in, I think it was Shinjuku, on the big screen, and I was like, oh my god, that's my alien boy. Happy birthday to him. Oh my god. But yeah, anyways, that made me really happy, right? Just seeing this in a random station on my way to wherever I was on my way to. A lot of these photos are like towards the end of my trip in Japan, because a lot of the places I went to in the first few days, it was just like Akihabara and whatnot, so I was just doing some shopping. This was in a cafe by the place I was staying at. I was staying near Iriya Station, in the northern side of Tokyo, close to Taito City, so this was at a cafe in Iriya. They served this like, oh the god, this pancake was so good. I usually don't like bananas because I thought I was like previously allergic to it, but apparently I'm not. I'm like okay with it now, I guess. But there's still not my favorite fruit. But I you know, when I ate it with this pancake, it was so good. Oh my god, it's like there's just something about eating foods you don't particularly like overseas. Like it's the same way how I gaslit myself into liking melons, like honeydew, because melon juice, melon soda, it's like, it was so fascinating to look at because it's like acid green in color that I like gaslit myself into liking it. but this but anyways, this was the snack lunch. It was the lunch that I had in near Iriya Station. There's like this cafe where I ate these pancakes at, and it was so good, man. I forgot what the actual dish was called, but it was like one of the specials. So it had like the cream, it had like these really fua, but not quite fua, but it was like fluffy regardless pancakes. And it had the bananas, and I think there were apricots. And then they had like walnuts and whatnot on the side as like the nut. It was like so good, and it wasn't like, it looks ridiculously sweet, but it actually wasn't too sweet, which I actually really like. That's the one thing I like about like Japanese sweets. They're not sweet at all. So whenever I go overseas now, I just eat a ton of sweets. You know, despite the fact that I thought I did not like sweets to begin with. My tolerance for sweets are like really, really low. But I guess because now I'm getting older, my taste buds are like changing again. So sweets are like kind of my thing, except I still can't tolerate most sweets. Anyways, this good pancake. Good pancake, good food. Okay ginger tea. I don't know why I ordered that. It was like honey ginger tea. I don't like ginger, and the ginger taste was really, really strong. But it was a good drink regardless. Good drink. I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is like straining like crazy. I need to like speed run this because my voice is actually starting to hurt. My throat. Okay. Give me a sec. Let me just Okay. I'm gonna quiet my voice for a bit because it's so strained, it kind of hurts. Okay, but you can hear me like this, right? So basically, oh no, this still hurts. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna try and shorten it. But basically, this is my next meal. This was a located at a restaurant near the place I was staying at too. But closer to Asakusa. It was like a small shop on the main street. And I wasn't expecting it at first, but it was kind of cheap. But it was like so good. It feels like home style cooking, which I really liked. So I had katsudan that day. Or no, this is a chicken katsu. No. Pork curry katsu. There we go. That's what it was. Pork curry katsu. Nice and simple. It looks very simple, but it was tasty. And I loved it. And then where's the other one? Oh no, where's my omurice picture? This omurice was also from the same restaurant. I like omurice a lot, okay? I was craving omurice for quite a while, so I like omurice a lot, right? Anyways, this was at another cafe. This was on a different day as well. This was in Harajuku, Takeshita Street. I went to like a random little cafe there by the main street. And because I think I was originally gonna go to the Peanut Cafe, the Snoopy Cafe, but I didn't know you needed reservations for that. Because when I went to the Pom Pom Puddin Cafe the year before, I didn't need a reservation for that. You could do walk-ins, so I thought it would be the same for Snoopy, but it wasn't. So that made me kind of sad because I actually really wanted to go to the Snoopy Cafe. But I settled for this place instead. It was called Noah Coffee, I think. And I had this very delicious waffle and cafe au lait. Or was it cafe latte? I don't remember which one it was. I think it was cafe au lait. It was really good. A little bit expensive though. Probably because I was in Takeshita Street, and Takeshita Street is known as like a touristy place in Harajuku, so that's probably why. But it was a really good, solid waffle. I did have a moment while I was in the shop panicking if my order submitted, because it doesn't give you like an actual "thank you, your order has been submitted" screen after you submit the order. But thankfully, after it was delivered, I was like, okay, I can relax now. So but it was a really good waffle, especially because it has strawberries on it, and at the time I was there, it was strawberry season. I wish I tried more strawberry things while I was in Japan at that time, but I don't know, for some reason everywhere I went to, they didn't really have strawberries as an offer, which kind of made me sad because I like strawberries a lot. They're my favorite fruit. But you know what? This waffle satisfied me. It came with the ice cream, which was very creamy, by the way, and it came with a good waffle, 2 waffles actually, and it came with some cream, very light, and some strawberries, which are very sweet. The coffee also helped balance it out, made it a little bit more palatable because the bitter with the sweet, and the coffee was good too. I liked it. And then, oh, who is that little guy in the background? He joining me for lunch. I had a nice date with him. And then here, this is my favorite shop. So for stationery enthusiasts, as you might know about, this is Traveler's Factory. In the last 2 times I went to Japan, I was actually meaning to go to Traveler's Factory. I just never went for some reason because it was like out of the way in a different it was in Meguro City. So when I went to Traveler's Cafe that day, Traveler's Cafe. I'm at Traveler's Factory that day. It was there's a lineup, but also thankfully it was also a nice day because it was like also raining in Japan sometimes. So I went on a good day, but also I had the time of my life in that shop, and I am definitely going to go back in the future to get like refills and stuff like that, because I finally, after so many years, managed to get my hands on a traveler's notebook. I've been wanting one for so long because I really like to do journaling, which you will probably see in the future because I need to use up some stuff. And I think it'd be nice to do like a journaling segment on this channel. But anyways, I finally got my hands on a traveler's notebook, which I am so happy about. I have the one with the leather cover in shade camel, and oh my god, it's so amazing. I am going to mostly use it just for when I wander around and bring it with me so that I can just jot down notes throughout the day, jot down journal entries and whatnot for the day, like as if it were my diary. That's what I really plan to use it for, but especially for when I go traveling in the future now. I am still filling out the pages for when I went overseas. It's not something I'm going to do on stream, especially because it contains some sensitive information, mainly from my flight tickets, so you won't be seeing those on stream, unfortunately, but I can show you the outside of it when I do my next hand cam. But I'm so happy I managed to go to Traveler's Factory. I spent a lot of money in this place. Not as much as I thought I would, but a lot of money regardless. And oh my god, I love the store, man. Even though it's out of the way, I don't mind going all the way there just to go to this store alone. I had the time of my life there, guys. I mean it, I really do. In the same area, this is actually Meguro City. Meguro City is a little bit south of Tokyo. Not too far actually. You can just take a transit there. But Meguro, this place is very known for their cherry blossoms. So of course it was cherry blossom season when I was there. And well, if you cannot see in the background, there are so many people there. I took this photo and then I left. That's literally all I did. Any other time, if it wasn't as crowded, I would have considered walking along this river, because it's like lined with cherry blossoms on either side of the road. But oh my god, there was too many people. I can't do crowds, man, and we were like packed like sardines, shoulder to shoulder. I could not do it. Although in hindsight, I probably should have bought that pink taiyaki I saw. I was kind of curious about that. But it's too late for that. But it's whatever. Once in a lifetime experience. I walked there, spent 3 minutes walking through that crowd, took this picture, took another picture, and then I left. Yeah, I think I went to Traveler's Factory first, and then I walked through here to get to Daikanyama Tea Site, which is a bookstore. One of the biggest bookstores in Tokyo, I think. I actually really liked Daikanyama, but there wasn't a large enough selection as I thought. I think they had like a second floor, but I think the second floor was only a lounge. But I'm not sure. I didn't explore there because I didn't want to go somewhere where I wasn't supposed to. Even though it was like open to the public. But it was a nice place. It's very beautiful too. It's a really pretty bookstore. Maybe next time if I go back, I'll explore a little longer and look a little more. I don't know why I included this in a slideshow, but it was JoJo Day while I was there. It was JoJo Day, so they had these like JoJo pop-ups and stuff around the area. I think my photos are a little jumbled up. Yeah, they're kind of jumbled up. This is a quiche that I had in the underground area in Shibuya, Shinjuku. One of them. There's like an underground mall. And then there's this like place called Oslo Coffee that I went to. It's near the Parts Club, which I did frequent. I do enjoy frequenting while I am in Japan, because I am a stationery enthusiast, but also a craft, arts and crafter, kind of guy. So I tried this place because I was just hungry, and this was like the closest place I could find to eat, and it was like raining outside. So I went here and had this pretty good quiche. This quiche is like Norwegian salmon, Norwegian salmon quiche, and it had like these and it had this this is the sauce for the little baby salad that they gave alongside whatever this was. I think it's like pickled carrots or something. It was good, not amazing, but good. This was also the coffee that I had. They had it's like air pressed coffee. They had hand drip too, but I tried this one, pretty good. In this one you can see it's just plain black. That's usually how I prefer my coffee, because for some reason every time I add sugar or milk it just tastes gross. So I usually drink my coffee black. What else do I have? Alright, we're back at the airport. And that's like the final thing that I have. Matcha espresso latte, I think. This was in I think it's called Xbasa Cafe in the airport in Japan. Just a little small drink that I had while I was charging my phone and while I was in the airport. And then this was the lunch that I had just before boarding the plane. A very, very big lunch, by the way. I did not like this tofu thing at the top. I didn't like this. I didn't like how it tasted for some reason, even though I usually like tofu. I think this is like this little dessert thing. I think it's like, oh, you know what? I think I know why I didn't like it, because it's similar to tofu fa. If you don't know Chinese, it's the tofu fa is like a sweet tofu pudding dish that's usually served at dessert. So tofu fa I don't really like because it's sweet, and also not the kind of sweet that I enjoy. So I think that's probably why I didn't like it. But the rest of the food was actually really, really good. I had tempura. I had this raw the sashimi rice bowl, soup, miso soup. Yeah, this was actually a very, very big lunch. I wasn't sure I can finish it, because by the time I got through this, I wasn't even sure if I can eat these two, much less this, if I decided to eat that. I made it somehow, but my god, that was good though. The fish was like good. The fish, I love sashimi, man. This doesn't even remotely cover like half of what I did in Tokyo, but this gives you like a good idea of what I did. But yeah, that's pretty much sums up my trip. I did go to a lot of stationery stores while I was there. I discovered my dream store Itoya in Ginza, specifically the Ginza location, because they actually sell like fountain pen products as well as inks for fountain pens as well, which, you know, that's one of my favorite things in the world, right? I love fountain pens. I really want to collect more in the future, if only so that I can like use multiple pens at once with different colored inks. Right now I only have two, one broad tip and one fine. I want to get some other ones, but in the future I will have to see which ones. But when I have money again, I'll consider like buying some more fountain pens. But in the meantime, this will be what it is. I also plan to get, I've been thinking about getting a stream deck lately. Not right now because there's some IRL things going on, so I need to be a little bit frugal with my spending from now on for the foreseeable future for a little bit. So no stream deck until then. It'll have to wait, and I'll have to do everything manually, unfortunately. Not that I haven't been doing that already, but you know, I really want a stream deck, so I'll probably get one in the future. What else is there? What else is there? I haven't really oh, I've been reading lately. I've been slowly getting back into like reading novels. So I just recently finished the twist novel. For like the twist novel Rose Red Tyrant, the first volume. I adored it, by the way. I love twist a lot, as many of you might know, maybe don't know. But now that you know, I love twist a lot. It's one of the few games that I've actually like hyper fixated on and still adore, despite not being like super active in the game itself nowadays. But the twist novel, I love it so much. It's very interesting to read about Yuya, the main character, and who you technically also are when you start playing twist. But Yuya Kuroki is what they named you in the novel, and I love him. That's my son right there. But it's also really interesting to see how Jun Hiroki, I believe that was their name. They're the writer for the twist novel. It's really interesting to see how they interpreted twist, the game, and to see the changes that the little changes that they made in the novel itself. Because a lot of the some of the scenes were missing. Some of the scenes that happened in the game were missing from the novel or like replaced with something else, and I was like it's really interesting to see, right? And you know, seeing these characters and their personalities and stories expanded a little bit more in the novel as well, I really enjoyed that. I really did. What else is there? I was gonna say something and then I started talking about twist. Fate. Low-key, these past couple days I've been kind of wanting to get back into Fate. I'm not sure if I'll re-download the game. I don't even know if I can access my old account. But I kind of want to get back into Fate. I might actually go on a binge watching spree and watch all the Fate stuff I can get my hands on. I need to still watch Camelot, and I think they came out with Fate Strange Fake a short animation OVA or whatever for that, so I need to watch that as well. But I kind of really just want to get back into Fate. It's been a couple years since I interacted with the Fate fandom. Well, not really fandom, but the media, and you know, I really miss it. I really do miss it. I spent a lot of time there, more than 4 years, I think, being entrenched in Fate media on its own. But yeah, I kind of want to get back into it. I've been reading some fics lately because I missed them, right? I missed them. So I've been reading some fics and I'm like, oh, maybe I should rewatch Fate because I kind of miss it. And you know, the stories itself are really good. Much to think about. I also need to catch up on some streams, and what do I need to do? I still need to give my cousin the souvenirs I bought her. I need to clean my room. I need to reorganize my shelves. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. But putting off for a little bit though, because some stuff are happening in the family. But once that gets resolved, I'll tend to all of this. I think that's about it. There's not much else. Not much else, I think. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. We had a solid almost 2 hours. I need to end this now or my throat is going to give up on me and fail. I need to get some water as well. Maybe I should look into getting a new tea as well. I've been watching Calyx a lot lately. Calyx Debonair, one of the newer Nijisandi debutantes. And he's really endearing. I really like him. He's very cute too, which is a bonus. But yeah, I fell in love with his personality, this guy, and I don't know. I've been just watching some of his streams lately. I do need to catch up, especially watch their karaoke relay, by the Beach karaoke relay. But Calyx keeps mentioning this tea called Throat Coat, and I kind of want to try it. I think it might help me with streaming, especially because apparently it's supposed to like coat your throat, help with vocal recovery and whatnot. So maybe if it's like vocal strain like this from talking, it might also help. I'm not sure. I would like to see. So I want to see if I can find that tea brand and try some. For the time being, I have not seen it. Well, I actually haven't gone outside really. But yeah, I might try that in the future if I ever find it. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. Because if I spend any more time, I'm going to die. Or my throat's going to die, rather. But yeah. That's pretty much what I've been up to these past 2 weeks. 4 weeks, actually. This past month. So yeah, I had a good time. We'll be back to regular streams soon. Probably another stream tomorrow, actually. If I get my shit together. You know, I've been thinking about it. But it's really weird that I don't have a schedule. Because for someone who operates on a schedule, whose life more or less operates on a day-to-day basis on a regular schedule, it's really weird that I did not do my streaming, incorporate my streaming into that schedule, because I feel like with a schedule I would follow it more closely and be more diligent. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to test it soon, once I make a new schedule thing. So we'll see how that goes and see if I can stick to it properly. Because right now, with my full-time job, it's kind of really depends on my energy levels. But because my position will be changing soon, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's enough for today. My throat is dying. If I spend any longer here, I will die. So I'll see you whenever I see you. Thank you for today. Thank you for listening to me yap, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.